Hey guys, it's Sigmund Sarnelli here again, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create some visualizations that have to deal with the Matthew effect. And so the data set that I'll be using is counts all data for. And so if you don't have that data set yet, the data set should be in the description below. And so let's get to it. And so kind of with this project, we're looking at the Matthew effect and how cumulative advantage kind of has a big play, whether it's in sports or in education. And for this particular example, I'm going to be showing you guys the Matthew effect in play with sports. And so I'm going to be kind of creating kind of a box plot kind of thing. And so to show you guys how to do this, first of all, we're going to be needing the month name and the births. So just those two. So I'm just going to drag month name into columns and births into rows. So we kind of get this. And I don't really want the sum of all the births. I just kind of want to see the individual dimensions for this box plot. So I'm going to change it to dimension, but right now we only have it for the whole United States for all the sports that we have. So what I'm going to be doing is dragging group into filters, and as you can see, the group of that we have here are the different sports. So we have baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. And so maybe for this particular case, I'm going to be looking at baseball and seeing if the Matthew effect has any kind of play here. So I'm going to click on baseball and press OK. And so right now we kind of have just a bunch of little marks and lines right here. It's kind of hard to tell if the Matthew effect is in play here. So let's try to make it a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to be dragging on analytics and dragging box plot onto cells. And so as you can kind of see now it becomes more apparent that between July and August that there's a huge spike in births here. What's interesting enough is that the baseball deadline is July 31st. So as you can see, the Matthew effect kind of is in play right here. So just to spice up our visualization a little bit more, just to make it a little bit cleaner, rather than changing the size of it to like this to make it smaller, this and that, what we can do is if we right click on any of the box plots and click edit, we can change the fill color to, let's just try red, and then we can hide the underlying marks here. And so what that does is once we click that, there are no more lines, and now we kind of have like a smoother, cleaner visualization. And so don't forget to give a title to this, and we can just say Matthew effect, and then we can just do baseball, something like that, just a simple title like that. So this is just one way of creating a visualization that kind of portrays the Matthew effect in play. Another option that I'm going to be showing you guys has to deal with the text table. So I'm going to be using the show me option, and if you go back to data, I'm going to be clicking on births and then month name, and then I'm going to click text dimension. So now we have this. It's kind of the same thing that we were doing last time. This is the total sum of all the births, but I need to filter it out so that I only get baseball. So I'm going to be dragging, just to show that one more time, dragging groups and putting it into filters. And once I do that, I'm going to be clicking on baseball and clicking OK. And so now we just have the number of births that are for the baseball, and trying to see the Matthew effect. And obviously it's kind of hard to tell just by looking at numbers. Let's add some color to it so that we can make it better. So right now the color is on the text, but just to make it probably crisper and easier for the eye to see, I'm going to change it from a text automatic and change it to a square. And what that does, it just fills in the whole thing. And so kind of just like how you notice here, this is just another way to portray the Matthew effect, but in a text table kind of way. You can do the total sum of this, or if you want to spice it up a little bit, we can change it and do a quick table calculation. We can do percent of total. And as you can tell, 10% of that whole population out of all the births are in August, which is kind of cool to look at. So maybe we'll keep it like this. So that's kind of what we have right now. So these are just a couple of ideas, and a kind of a starter to get you guys started off with looking at the Matthew effect with different sports and with education. So there we go. And the last thing I'm going to be showing you guys today is kind of, for the class, a statistical analysis, the chi-square independence test. And what we're going to be doing is this. So very quickly, if you go to the course out the course, if you click on Technology Tools, you'll get to this page. And so we're in the Technology Tools. I need you guys to scroll down until you find the CSE 150 Statistical Toolbox. You're going to need to download it, and you'll get something like this that pops up. So it'll land you on this, but there should be a tab right here called the chi-square test of independence, and this is what we're going to be using for our test to do some statistical analysis. So what we're going to be doing, just a quick way to get our information so that we don't have to manually type it in. So what we're going to be doing, I'm just going to be doing the text table thing. So that we're using the show me option, I'm going to be clicking on births, month name, and group. So all three of those at once, and I'm going to be clicking on the text tables within the show me button. And so we're going to get this. It's not in a format that we like or need necessarily, because if we look at the toolbox, it's like this. So we're just going to simply swap rows and columns, this button right here. And once we do that, we'll have it in a nice format. Let's get rid of the NAs, and we have it like this. So we're not going to do this, copy it like that, but we're going to click Worksheet, Export, Cross-Tab to Excel. And so once we do that, something like this should pop up, where it's in a nice format for us to use. So what I'm going to be doing is just copying all of these numbers and putting it right into the chi-square of independence, and watch the magic happen. Boom. Now we get all these different things. So we get our chi-square test of independence, we have our test statistic, and we have our p-value. Then we kind of get to see this kind of like heat map that kind of shows this, and Brother Goodwin will be able to explain this a little bit more in depth for you guys. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be showing you guys today, and there we go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and yeah, good job.